Hey, history lovers, we're about to uncover 15 surprising facts about how Vikings slept. Have you ever thought about how Vikings managed to sleep so well? Or what really went on inside their longhouses after dark? Picture cozy beds made of soft furs and feathers, the calming smell of herbs in the air, and stories being shared by the fire, from sharing beds with family to the little rituals that help them feel safe and relaxed at night. And by the way, what time is it where you are right now? I'm always amazed to see people tuning in from America, Europe, Asia, and all over the world. It's pretty wonderful that we can all hang out here together. And don't forget to subscribe. It will help your little community grow. So, get comfortable and let's start this journey. 15. Setting the scene of Viking nights. The northern lands breathe in a rhythm all their own. A slow and ancient pulse that lingers in the air long after the sun has dipped beneath the horizon. The world of the Vikings, cradled by the cold arms of Scandinavia, is a place where nightfall arrives, not with a sudden hush, but with a gradual deepening of blue, a softening of the world's edges. The sky, painted in strokes of indigo and violet, stretches endlessly above the clustered wooden homes, the forests, and the winding rivers. The air grows still, and the last calls of birds echo across the water, fading into the gentle silence that settles over the land. In these northern realms, the night is not a thing to be feared, but a companion, familiar and ever-present. The people who called this place home understood the language of darkness. They knew the way the wind would sigh through the pine trees, the way the snow would muffle every sound, turning the world into a quiet cocoon. The stars, when they appeared, seemed closer here, as if one could reach out and brush their icy light with a fingertip. The moon, too, hung heavy and low, casting silver paths across the frozen ground, guiding travelers and dreamers alike. The Viking world was shaped by its seasons, and the seasons shaped the very nature of sleep. In the heart of winter, when the sun barely skimmed the horizon, the night stretched on, a gentle, enveloping darkness that invited rest. In summer, the light lingered, refusing to leave, and the people learned to find sleep in the soft glow of twilight. The rhythm of the land was slow, patient, and the people moved with it, never rushing, never fighting the turning of the earth. The longhouses, built from sturdy timber and thatch, stood as islands of warmth against the chill. Their walls, thick and rough-hewn, held back the wind, while the roof, sloping and low, gathered the heat. From the central hearth, inside, the air was scented with wood smoke and the faint sweetness of dried herbs. The fire, banked low for the night, glowed softly, its embers painting the faces of those gathered within with flickering gold. Shadows danced along the beams, and the gentle crackle of burning wood was a lullaby, soothing and constant outside. The world was vast and quiet. The forests, dense and ancient, pressed close to the edges of the villages. Their branches, heavy with snow or dripping with rain, whispered secrets to the night. The rivers, dark and slow-moving, reflected the stars, carrying their light downstream to the waiting sea. The air was sharp and clean, filled with the scent of pine and earth, and the distant tang of salt from the ocean. Even the animals moved softly, their footsteps muffled by moss and fallen leaves. The people of these lands were shaped by their environment. Their lives were woven into the fabric of the seasons, the weather, the endless cycle of light and dark. They rose with the sun, worked by its light, and rested when it faded. Their bodies knew the rhythm of the earth, and their minds found peace in its predictability. Sleep was not a luxury, but a necessity, a gift given by the land itself. The long nights were a time for healing, for dreaming, for gathering strength for the days to come. Within the longhouse, the world was smaller, more intimate. Families gathered close, sharing warmth and stories. The walls, though sturdy, could not keep out every sound, And so the night was filled with the soft noises of life, the breathing of children, the shifting of bodies on straw beds, the quiet murmur of voices. Sometimes a lullaby would drift through the darkness, sung in a low, soothing voice. The words, old and familiar, spoke of heroes and gods, of journeys across the sea and safe returns home. The Vikings understood the importance of comfort, even in a world that could be harsh and unforgiving. They layered furs and woven blankets atop their beds, creating nests of warmth against the cold. The beds themselves were simple, often little more than wooden frames filled with straw or feathers, but they were cherished. Each bed was a small sanctuary, a place to retreat from the world, to rest and dream. The night was a time for reflection, for quiet conversation, for the sharing of hopes and fears. The flickering firelight cast long shadows on the walls, and the stories told in its glow became part of the fabric of the night. The elders spoke of the old days, of battles fought and lands discovered. The children listened, wide-eyed, their imaginations painting pictures in the darkness. The stories were not just entertainment, but a way of passing down wisdom, of teaching the young how to live in harmony with the land. Outside, the wind would sometimes rise, rattling the shutters and sending a shiver through the house. But inside, the warmth held, and the people drew closer together. The night was not a thing to be endured, but a time to be cherished, a pause in the endless cycle of work and worry. In the darkness, there was safety, there was peace. The world beyond the village was vast and mysterious. The forests stretched for miles, filled with creatures both real and imagined. The sea, ever present, called to the adventurous, its waves whispering promises of distant shores. But at night, the world shrank to the size of the longhouse, to the circle of light cast by the fire. The dangers of the wild faded into the background, replaced by the comfort of family and home. The Vikings believed that the night was a time when the boundaries between worlds grew thin, when dreams could carry a person to distant lands or bring messages from the gods. Sleep was a journey, a passage through darkness to a place of rest and renewal. The dreams of the Vikings were filled with images of the sea, of forests and mountains, of battles and feasts. They believed that the soul could wander while the body slept, exploring realms both known and unknown. The northern sky was a tapestry of stars. Each night, the constellations shifted, telling stories of their own. The people watched the heavens, reading omens in the movement of the stars. The aurora, when it appeared, was a wonder, a curtain of green and gold that danced across the sky. The Vikings saw it as a sign from the gods, a reminder that they were never truly alone. The light of the aurora was soft and otherworldly, casting a gentle glow over the sleeping land. The silence of the night was never complete. There was always a background hum, the sound of the wind in the trees, the distant call of an owl, the soft creak of the longhouse settling into the earth. These sounds were familiar, comforting, a reminder that life continued even in the deepest darkness. The people listened to the night, attuned to its rhythms. They knew the difference between the ordinary and the unusual, between the safe and the strange. The long winters taught patience. The people learned to wait, to endure, to find beauty in the slow unfolding of the seasons. The darkness was not an enemy, but a teacher. It taught the value of rest, of stillness, of quiet contemplation. The Vikings embraced the night, finding in it a time for renewal, for connection, for the weaving of dreams. The world inside the longhouse was a world apart. The fire was the heart of the home, its light and warmth drawing people together. The benches and beds were arranged around it, each person with their own place, their own space. The walls were hung with tapestries and shields, reminders of the family's history and achievements. The air was thick with the scent of smoke and wool, of bread baking and stew simmering. The sounds of the night were gentle. The crackle of the fire, the soft breathing of sleepers, the occasional murmur of a dream. The people of the North were practical, but they were also dreamers. They understood the need for rest, for comfort, for the small pleasures that made life bearable. They took pride in their homes, in the warmth they created, in the safety they provided. The night was a time to celebrate these things, to be grateful for the simple gifts of shelter and companionship. The world outside the longhouse was ever changing. The seasons turned, the weather shifted, but inside there was a sense of continuity, of tradition. The rituals of the night were passed down from generation to generation. Each family had its own customs, its own ways of preparing for sleep. Some would share a final cup of mead. Others would tell stories or sing songs. The routines were comforting, a way of marking the passage of time, of connecting the present to the past. The Vikings were not alone in their love of the night. Across the world, people have always sought comfort in the darkness, have always found ways to make the night their own. But in the North, where nights could last for months, the relationship with darkness was deeper, more intimate. The people learned to live with the night, to welcome it, to find joy in its quiet embrace. The night was a canvas, painted with the colors of fire and shadow, of moonlight and starlight. The people moved through it with care, respecting its power, honoring its gifts. They knew that the night could be both gentle and fierce, both comforting and wild. They accepted its mysteries, its uncertainties, and found peace in the knowledge that the sun would always rise again. The world of the Vikings was a world of contrasts, of light and dark, of warmth and cold, of safety and danger. But in the heart of the night, there was a sense of unity, of belonging. The people were bound together by the darkness, by the need for rest, for comfort, for connection. The night was a time to let go of worries, to surrender to the gentle pull of sleep, to dream of distant lands and forgotten times. 14. The architecture of Viking sleep, the longhouse, stands quietly at the edge of the forest, its silhouette softened by the gentle hush of evening. The roof, steep and thatched, rises from the earth like a great slumbering beast, its back dusted with moss and the memory of many winters. The walls, built from thick logs and daubed with clay, hold the warmth of the day within them, sheltering those inside from the restless winds that sweep across the northern fields. In the fading light, the longhouse glows with the promise of comfort, a beacon for the weary traveler and the returning kin alike. Step closer, and the details of the structure reveal themselves. The doorway, low and sturdy, is framed by carved posts, their surfaces worn smooth by the touch of many hands. Above, the eaves extend outward, offering protection from the rain and snow. The threshold is more than just an entrance. It is a boundary between the wildness of the world and the safety of home. To cross it is to leave behind the uncertainties of the night and enter a space shaped by care, tradition, and the quiet wisdom of generations. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of wood smoke and wool. The central hearth, a shallow pit lined with stones, glows with the steady light of burning embers. Around it, benches and beds are arranged in a careful pattern, each space marked by the presence of a family member. The fire is the heart of the home, its warmth radiating outward, drawing people close. The flicker of flames casts shifting patterns on the walls, illuminating the woven tapestries and the polished shields that hang as silent witnesses to the life within. The architecture of the Viking longhouse is a study in adaptation. Every element is designed to answer the needs of the land and the people. The walls are thick, built to withstand the biting cold and the weight of winter snows. The roof, steeply pitched, sheds rain and ice, its thatch packed tightly to keep out the chill. Small windows, covered with oiled animal skins or thin slices of horn, emit a soft, golden light during the day, but at night they are shuttered tight, preserving the precious warmth within. The floor is packed earth, sometimes covered with rushes or straw. Each step is cushioned, muffling the sounds of movement. The beds, raised slightly above the ground, are built into the walls, their frames sturdy and simple. Some are curtained with heavy cloth, offering a measure of privacy in the communal space. Others are open, inviting the warmth of the fire and the company of family. The arrangement of sleeping spaces is both practical and symbolic, reflecting the bonds of kinship and the rhythms of daily life. At one end of the longhouse, the animals are sheltered. Their presence is a source of warmth, their quiet breathing a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. The line between human and animal is blurred, both sharing the same roof, the same air, the same night. The sounds of cattle shifting in their stalls, the soft clucking of hens, the occasional snort of a horse, all blend into the background music of the night, a gentle reassurance that the world is as it should be. The longhouse is more than just a building. It is a living thing, shaped by the hands and hearts of those who dwell within. The walls are inscribed with the marks of daily life, the scratches of children's games, the stains of many meals, the scars of old repairs. Each beam and board tells a story. Each stone in the hearth remembers the warmth of 1,000 fires. The home is a vessel, holding the memories of those who have come before and the hopes of those who will come after. The architecture of sleep in the Viking world is communal. The idea of solitude is foreign. Instead, the night is shared, a time for gathering close, for exchanging stories and dreams. The beds are arranged so that each person is within reach of another, a hand to hold, a voice to answer in the darkness. The boundaries between self and other are softened, replaced by a sense of belonging, of being part of something larger than oneself. The fire is tended carefully, banked with ashes to keep it smoldering through the night. Its light is a comfort, a reminder that even in the deepest darkness, there is warmth and safety. The embers glow softly, casting a gentle light on the faces of those who sleep nearby. The fire is never allowed to die, for it is the soul of the home, its presence a promise that morning will come again. The longhouse is a place of transition, a bridge between the wildness of the world and the order of human life. Outside, the wind howls and the snow falls, but inside, there is peace. The architecture is both practical and poetic, a reflection of the values and dreams of the people who built it. The walls hold back the cold, but they also hold in the warmth of laughter, the comfort of shared meals, the quiet intimacy of sleep. The design of the longhouse is not static, but evolves with the needs of its inhabitants. New rooms are added, old ones repurposed. The structure grows and changes, adapting to the rhythms of birth and death, of marriage and parting. The home is a living record of the family's journey, its walls bearing witness to the passage of time. The architecture of Viking sleep is a testament to resilience, to the ability to find comfort in the midst of hardship. The longhouse is a fortress against the elements, but it is also a sanctuary, a place where the soul can rest. The beds, simple and unadorned, are made precious by the presence of loved ones. The fire, humble and small, is made sacred by the stories told in its light. The night in the longhouse is a time of quiet transformation. The worries of the day are set aside, replaced by the gentle rituals of rest. The architecture of the home supports this transition, offering shelter, warmth, and a sense of belonging. The walls, thick and strong, hold back the darkness, but they also hold in the light. The fire, tended with care, is a symbol of hope, a promise that the night will pass and the sun will rise again. The longhouse is a world unto itself, a microcosm of the larger world outside. Its architecture reflects the values of the people who built it, their respect for the land, their love of family, their belief in the power of community. The home is a place of safety, a place where sleep is cherished, where dreams are nurtured, where the night is welcomed as a friend. In the quiet of the longhouse, as the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness, the architecture of sleep reveals its true purpose. It is not just about shelter or warmth or protection from the elements. It is about creating a space where the soul can rest, where the heart can find peace, where the bonds of family and community are strengthened. The longhouse is a testament to the enduring power of home, a reminder that even in the harshest of worlds, there is a place for comfort, for rest, for the gentle magic of sleep. The architecture of Viking sleep is a story written in wood and stone, in fire and shadow. It is a story of resilience, of adaptation, of the quiet strength that comes from belonging. The longhouse stands as a silent witness to the passage of time, its walls holding the memories of countless nights, its hearth glowing with the promise of many more to come. And so, as the night deepens and the world grows still, the longhouse remains, a beacon of warmth and safety in the heart of the northern wilds. Its architecture, shaped by the hands of those who came before, continues to shelter and comfort, to hold back the darkness, to cradle the dreams of those who sleep within its walls. 13. The Viking bed revealed within the gentle embrace of the longhouse. Where the fire's glow flickers softly against timber-bird walls, the Viking bed waits, humble and inviting, a quiet sanctuary from the world outside. The night air, cool and tinged with the scent of pine and distant sea, presses against the thick walls, but inside, warmth gathers in pockets, swirling around the places where families rest. Here, the art of sleep is woven from the simplest of materials, each chosen with care, each layered with the wisdom of generations. The Viking bed is not a grand thing, not a monument to luxury or excess. It is a creation of necessity, shaped by the land and the seasons, by the hands of those who know the value of comfort in a world that can be harsh and unyielding. The frame, often hewn from sturdy oak or ash, is low to the ground, its legs thick and unadorned. The wood bears the marks of the craftsman's tools, the gentle curves and notches that speak of patience and skill. Sometimes the headboard is carved with simple patterns, a nod to beauty in the midst of utility. Upon this frame, the bedding is layered, each piece a testament to the resourcefulness of the people. The first layer is straw, gathered from the fields after the harvest, dried in the sun until it is golden and fragrant. The straw is spread thickly, forming a mattress that is both soft and resilient. It crackles faintly beneath the weight of a body, a gentle reminder of the summer's warmth. Over time, the straw is replaced, refreshed with each season, its scent mingling with the other aromas of the home. Above the straw, feathers are added, collected from geese and ducks. Each feather is a small miracle, light and airy, trapping warmth and cushioning the sleeper. The feather bed, plump and yielding, is a prized possession, often handed down from mother to daughter, father to son. It is cared for with devotion, fluffed and aired in the sun, stitched and restitched as needed. The feathers, gathered over many years, are a record of the family's life, a soft archive of meals shared and winters survived. Furs are the final layer, the crowning comfort of the Viking bed. The pelts of sheep, reindeer, and bear are draped across the bedding, their softness a barrier against the cold. The furs are chosen for their warmth, their thickness, their ability to hold heat through the longest nights. Each pelt is tanned and cured with care, the work of many hands. The fur is brushed and cleaned, its surface smooth and inviting. In the depths of winter, when the wind howls and the snow piles high against the door, the furs are a blessing, a shield against the world's chill. The arrangement of the bed is a ritual, a quiet act of preparation that marks the end of the day. The straw is fluffed, the feathers shaken, the furs smoothed and tucked. Each person has their own way of making the bed, their own preferences and habits. Some like the weight of many furs, others prefer the lightness of feathers alone. The bed is a personal space, a reflection of the self. Even in the midst of the communal longhouse, children sleep nestled together, their small bodies. Sharing warmth. Their beds are often simple pallets, straw and furs laid on the floor, but they are no less cherished. The laughter and whispers of the day give way to the soft sighs of sleep, the gentle rise and fall of breath. Parents watch over their children, tucking them in, smoothing their hair, whispering words of comfort. The bed is a place of safety, a haven from the uncertainties of the night. For the elders, the bed is a place of rest and remembrance. The aches of age are eased by the softness of feathers, the warmth of furs. The memories of a lifetime are woven into the bedding. Each night, as they settle into sleep, they are surrounded by the echoes of the past, the voices of those who have gone before. The bed is a link to the ancestors, a place where dreams and memories mingle. The making of bedding is a communal task, a labor shared by all. In the spring, the women gather to clean and air the furs, to sew new covers, to stuff the feather beds. The children help, learning the skills that will one day be theirs. The men repair the bed frames, carving new pegs, tightening joints. The work is done with laughter and song, the rhythm of hands and voices blending with the sounds of the season. The bedding is stored carefully, protected from damp and pests. Each piece is valued, each layer a treasure. The materials for the bed are gathered from the land, straw from the fields, feathers from the flocks, furs from the hunt. Each is a gift, a reminder of the connection between people and place. The Vikings respect the animals that provide for them, using every part, wasting nothing. The furs are tanned with care, the feathers plucked gently, the straw gathered with gratitude. The bed is a symbol of this relationship, a daily reminder of the bounty and generosity of the earth. In the longhouse, the beds are arranged along the walls. Each family has its own space, marked by the arrangement of bedding, the placement of personal belongings. The beds are close enough for conversation, for the sharing of warmth, but each is also a private world, a place for dreams. The firelight flickers across the furs, casting shadows that dance and shift. The air is filled with the scent of straw and smoke, of wool and wood. The sounds of the night are gentle, the soft breathing of sleepers, the occasional crackle of the fire, the distant call of an owl. The bed is a place of transition, a threshold between waking and dreaming. The act of lying down, of pulling the furs close, is a signal to the body and mind that the day is done, that it is time to rest. The weight of the bedding, the softness of the feathers, the warmth of the furs, all combine to create a sense of security, a feeling of being held. The worries of the day slip away, replaced by the gentle pull of sleep. The Vikings understand the importance of comfort. Even in a world that demands strength and endurance, the bed is a place of healing, a refuge from the hardships of daily life. The softness of the bedding soothes tired muscles. The warmth eases the chill of the night. The act of making the bed, of caring for the materials, is an act of self-care, a way of honoring the body and the spirit. The bed is also a place of intimacy, of connection. Couples share their beds, their bodies entwined beneath the furs. Their whispers and laughter are part of the night's music, a counterpoint to the silence outside. The bed is a place for love, for comfort, for the quiet sharing of dreams. In the darkness, the boundaries between self and other blur, replaced by a sense of unity, of belonging. The materials of the bed are humble, but they are transformed by the care and attention of those who use them. The straw, the feathers, the furs, all become more than just objects. They become symbols of home, of family, of the enduring power of comfort. The bed is a place where the soul can rest, where the heart can find peace, where the body can heal. In the morning, as the first light filters through the shutters, the beds are left behind, the furs folded, the straw fluffed. The day begins anew, but the memory of the night lingers. A gentle reminder of the comfort and safety found in the heart of the longhouse. The bed waits, patient and unchanging, ready to welcome the weary at the end of another day. The Viking bed, with its layers of straw, feathers, and furs, is a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of a people who knew how to find comfort. In the midst of hardship, it is a symbol of the quiet magic that lives in the heart of the home, a reminder that even in the darkest of nights, there is a place for rest, for dreaming, for the gentle embrace of sleep. 12. Communal sleeping traditions in the gentle hush of the longhouse. As the fire's glow softens and the world outside slips into shadow, the Viking family gathers for the night. The day's labors are set aside, the tools and weapons hung on. Pegs, the last embers of conversation fading into a comfortable silence. Here, in the heart of the home, sleep is not a solitary journey, but a shared experience, woven through with the threads of kinship and trust. The beds, arranged along the walls, form a circle of warmth and belonging. Each space is marked by the presence of a loved one, a child's wooden toy, a mother's spindle, a father's knife. The boundaries between beds are soft, defined more by custom than by structure. The youngest children sleep closest to their parents, their small bodies curled beneath thick furs. Their dreams are guarded by the steady breathing of those who love them, the gentle weight of a mother's arm, the quiet reassurance of a father's presence. Older children, on the cusp of independence, sleep a little farther away, but never out of reach. Their laughter and whispers linger in the air, a reminder of the day's adventures, the games played in the fields, the stories told by the hearth. The elders, wise and weathered, rest at the far end of the longhouse, their beds piled high with furs, their dreams filled with memories. The family's sleeping arrangement is a living map of relationships, a reflection of the bonds that hold them together. The act of preparing for sleep is a ritual, a gentle transition from the bustle of the day to the quiet of the night. The children are washed with water warmed by the fire, their faces and hands scrubbed clean, their hair is brushed, their cheeks kissed, lullabies hummed in low, soothing voices. The parents move through the longhouse, checking the shutters, banking the fire, making sure that all is safe and secure. The animals are settled, the doors barred, the world outside held at bay. As the family settles into their beds, the longhouse becomes a cocoon of warmth and safety. The air is filled with the mingled scents of straw and wool, of wood smoke and herbs. The fire's glow flickers across the faces of the sleepers, casting gentle shadows on the walls. The sounds of the night are soft and familiar. The breathing of loved ones, the quiet shifting of bodies, the occasional murmur of a dream. In this shared space, the boundaries between self and other blur, replaced by a sense of unity, of belonging. The communal nature of Viking sleep is both practical and profound. In a world where the cold can be relentless and the nights long, sharing warmth is a matter of survival. The body heat of many people, gathered close together, creates a pocket of comfort that holds back the chill. The furs and blankets are shared, passed from hand to hand, each person contributing to the well-being of the group. The act of sleeping together is an act of trust, a silent promise to protect and care for one another. But the benefits of communal sleep go beyond the physical. The emotional bonds forged in the quiet hours of the night are deep and enduring. The family, gathered together in sleep, becomes more than just a collection of individuals. It becomes a single living organism, each heartbeat and breath echoing through the group. The children learn the rhythms of their parents' sleep, the rise and fall of their breathing, the gentle touch of a hand in the darkness. The parents, in turn, find comfort in the presence of their children, the knowledge that they are safe and near. The stories told before sleep are a vital part of this tradition. As the fire burns low, the family gathers to share tales of gods and heroes, of distant lands and ancient battles. The words, spoken in soft voices, weave a tapestry of memory and imagination. The children listen with wide eyes, their minds filled with images of dragons, and giants. Of ships sailing across stormy seas, the stories are more than just entertainment. They are a way of passing down wisdom, of teaching the values and beliefs that shape the family and the community. Sometimes the stories are personal, tales of ancestors and kin, of hardships endured and victories won. The elders share their memories, their voices trembling with emotion. The children listen, absorbing the lessons of the past. The act of storytelling is a bridge between generations, a way of connecting the present to the past, the living to the dead. The stories linger in the air, mingling with the smoke and the shadows, becoming part of the fabric of the night. The communal sleep of the Vikings is not without its challenges. The longhouse is a crowded place, and privacy is a rare luxury. The sounds of the night are many. The snoring of elders, the cries of infants, the restless shifting of bodies. But these inconveniences are accepted, even cherished. They are the sounds of life, the evidence of a family bound together by love and necessity. The act of sharing a bed, of sleeping side by side, is a reminder that no one is ever truly alone. The rhythms of sleep are shaped by the needs of the group. The youngest children are lulled to sleep early, their bodies worn out by the day's play. The parents stay awake a little longer, tending the fire, sharing quiet words. The elders drift in and out of sleep, their dreams mingling with the memories of a lifetime. The night is a living thing, its shape shifting with the needs and desires of those who inhabit it. In the darkest hours, when the wind howls outside and the world seems far away, the family draws closer together. The warmth of many bodies, the comfort of familiar voices, the gentle touch of a hand, all combine to create a sense of safety. The longhouse becomes a fortress against the night, its walls holding back the darkness, its hearth a beacon of hope. The act of sleeping together is an act of defiance, a refusal to be cowed by the world outside. The communal nature of Viking sleep is reflected in the customs and rituals that surround it. The act of saying goodnight is a moment of connection, a chance to express love and gratitude. The children are tucked in, their cheeks kissed, their fears soothed. The parents share a final embrace, a whispered promise to watch over one another. The elders offer blessings, their voices soft and steady. The rituals of the night are a way of marking the passage of time, of reinforcing the bonds that hold the family together. The act of waking is just as important. As the first light of dawn filters through the shutters, the family stirs, stretching and yawning. The beds are left behind, the furs folded, the straw fluffed. The day begins anew, but the memory of the night lingers, a gentle reminder of the comfort and safety found in the heart of the longhouse. The family rises together, ready to face the challenges of the day, their bonds strengthened by the shared experience of sleep. The communal sleep of the Vikings is a testament to the power of connection. In a world that can be harsh and unforgiving, the act of gathering together, of sharing warmth and comfort, is a source of strength. The family, bound together by love and necessity, becomes a fortress against the night, a place where dreams are nurtured, where the soul can rest. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, its flickering fire, its gentle rhythms, is a sanctuary, a place where the magic of sleep is woven into the very fabric of life. In the quiet of the night, as the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness, the family sleeps, their dreams mingling, their hearts at peace. The communal nature of Viking sleep is a reminder that we are never truly alone, that the bonds of love and kinship endure. Even in the darkest of nights, the longhouse stands as a testament to this truth, its walls holding the memories of countless nights, its hearth glowing with the promise of many more to come. 11. Seasonal sleep patterns in the northern lands. The sun is a capricious companion, its journey across the sky shaping every aspect of life, and none more so than the gentle art of sleep. The Vikings, living at the edge of the world, learned to listen to the sun's quiet commands, to let their bodies and minds be guided by its ever-changing rhythm. Here, the seasons are not just a backdrop, but a living force, their presence felt in every breath, every heartbeat, every dream. As winter deepens, the sun becomes a shy visitor. Rising late and setting early, its light, pale and fleeting, barely brushes the tops of the trees before slipping away. The world is wrapped in darkness, the nights stretching long and deep. In these months, the longhouse becomes a haven. Its fire a small sun at the center of the world. The people gather close, their days shortened by the absence of light, their nights lengthened by the embrace of darkness. Sleep, in the heart of winter, is a generous gift. The body, guided by the slow turning of the earth, surrenders to the night. The hours of rest are long and unhurried, a time for healing and renewal. The family settles early, the children lulled by the hush of the world outside, the elders drifting into dreams as the fire burns low. The darkness is not a thing to be feared, but a gentle companion, inviting all to rest, to dream, to gather strength for the days to come. The rhythm of winter sleep is slow and deep. The mind, freed from the demands of the day, wanders through the landscapes of memory and imagination. Dreams are vivid, colored by the stories told by the hearth, the hopes whispered in the darkness. The body, wrapped in furs and feathers, finds comfort in the stillness. The heart, surrounded by the warmth of family, beats in time with the quiet pulse of the night. But as the earth turns and the days begin to lengthen, the world awakens. The sun, bold and golden, climbs higher in the sky. Its light spills through the shutters, painting the walls with patterns of gold and shadow. The snow melts, the rivers run swift and clear. The air is filled with the scent of new grass, the songs of returning birds. The longhouse, once a cocoon of darkness, is now filled with light. The people rise earlier, their bodies eager to greet the day, to feel the sun on their faces. In the season of light, sleep becomes a more elusive companion. The nights are short, the twilight lingering long after the sun has set. In the far north, the sun may never fully disappear, its glow a constant presence on the horizon. The people learn to find rest in the half-light, to let their bodies adjust to the new rhythm. The beds are still made with care, the furs and feathers still cherished, but sleep comes in shorter intervals, broken by the call of the world outside. The rhythm of summer sleep is light and restless. The mind, filled with the energy of the season, dances from dream to dream. The body, warmed by the sun, needs less rest. The heart, quickened by the promise of adventure, beats with excitement. The family rises early, their days filled with work and play, with feasting and song. The nights, though brief, are cherished, a time to gather, to share stories, to find comfort in the company of loved ones. The changing seasons bring with them a wisdom, a knowledge passed down through generations. The Vikings learned to listen to their bodies, to honor the needs of the moment. In winter, they surrender to the darkness, allowing themselves the luxury of long, unbroken sleep. In summer, they embrace the light, finding rest where they can, trusting that the rhythm of the earth will guide them. The act of sleeping is not a rigid routine, but a dance, a gentle negotiation between the self and the world. The children, quick to adapt, follow the lead of their elders. In winter, they sleep deeply, their dreams filled with the stories of the night. In summer, they rise with the sun, their laughter echoing through the longhouse. The elders, wise and patient, teach the value of rest, the importance of listening to the body. The family, bound together by the rhythm of the seasons, moves as one, their lives shaped by the turning of the earth. The rituals of sleep change with the seasons. In winter, the family gathers early, the fire banked high, the beds piled with furs. The night is a time for quiet, for reflection, for the sharing of dreams. In summer, the evenings are filled with laughter, with song, with the gentle hum of conversation. The beds are lighter, the windows thrown open to the cool night air. The act of preparing for sleep is a celebration, a way of marking the passage of time, of honoring the gifts of the season. The world outside the longhouse is transformed by the sun. In winter, the landscape is a study in contrasts. The snow bright against the dark trees, the rivers frozen and silent, the nights are long, the stars sharp and clear. In summer, the world is alive with color, the fields green and gold, the rivers sparkling in the light. The nights are brief, the sky painted with the soft hues of twilight. The people, attuned to these changes, find beauty in every season, comfort in every rhythm. The rhythm of the sun is a gentle teacher. It reminds the people of the importance of balance, of the need for both rest and activity. The long nights of winter are a time for healing, for gathering strength. The short nights of summer are a time for celebration, for living fully. The act of sleeping, of surrendering to the rhythm of the earth, is a way of honoring the cycles of life, of finding peace in the midst of change. The wisdom of the Vikings lies in their ability to adapt, to find comfort in the shifting patterns of light and dark. They do not fight the seasons, but embrace them, allowing their lives to be shaped by the world around them. The act of sleeping is a reflection of this wisdom, a gentle acceptance of the gifts of the earth. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, its flickering fire, its ever-changing light, is a sanctuary, a place where the rhythm of the sun is honored, where the magic of sleep is woven into the fabric of life. In the quiet of the night, as the world outside shifts from darkness to light and back again, the family sleeps, their dreams guided by the gentle hand of the sun. The rhythm of the seasons, the dance of light and dark, is a reminder that life is a journey, a passage through time. The act of sleeping, of surrendering to the rhythm of the earth, is a way of finding peace, of honoring the beauty of the world, of embracing the gentle magic that lives in the heart of the night. 10. Guardians in nighttime roles as the hush of evening deepens and the longhouse settles into its gentle rhythm. Not every soul surrenders fully to sleep. In the world of the Vikings, the night is not only a time for rest, but also a time for quiet vigilance. The darkness outside the sturdy walls is vast and mysterious, filled with the soft footfalls of animals, the distant sigh of the wind, and the ever-present possibility of the unknown. Within this world, the tradition of the night watch is born, a role woven into the fabric of communal life, a silent promise that while most dream, some will remain awake, keeping the darkness at bay. The longhouse, for all its warmth and comfort, is not an island. It stands at the edge of the wild, where the forest presses close and the sea's voice is never far away. The people know the land well, its moods and its secrets. They know, too, that the world can change in a moment. That safety is a gift to be guarded. And so, as the fire burns low and the family drifts into slumber, one or two among them rise, quietly, wrapping themselves in thick cloaks, their eyes adjusting to the dim glow of embers. The night watch is a role of honor and trust. It is given to those who are strong and steady, whose senses are sharp, whose hearts are calm. Sometimes it is the father, sometimes the eldest son or daughter, sometimes a trusted friend or guest. The watchful one moves softly through the longhouse, checking the doors and shutters, listening to the sounds of sleep, the gentle breathing of children, the soft murmur of dreams. Their presence is a comfort, a silent reassurance that all is well. Outside, the world is transformed. The moon hangs low, casting silver light across the fields and forests. The shadows are deep and shifting, the air crisp and alive with the scent of pine and earth. The night is never truly silent. The wind stirs the branches. An owl calls from the darkness. The river murmurs its ancient song. The watchful one stands at the threshold, eyes searching the night, ears attuned to every sound. They know the difference between the ordinary and the strange. between the safe and the dangerous. Sometimes the night brings visitors. A fox slipping through the underbrush, a deer pausing at the edge of the clearing, the distant howl of a wolf. These are the companions of the night, their presence a reminder of the wildness that lies just beyond the firelight. The watchful one greets them with respect, understanding that they too are part of the world's rhythm. There is no fear, only a quiet acceptance, a sense of belonging to something larger than oneself. The role of the night watch is not only practical, but deeply symbolic. It is a reminder that safety is a shared responsibility, that the well-being of the group depends on the vigilance of each member. The act of staying awake while others sleep is an act of love, a silent promise to protect and care for those who are most vulnerable. The watchful one is both guardian and guide, holding the darkness at bay, ensuring that the night passes in peace. Within the longhouse, the sleepers are unaware of the quiet vigilance that surrounds them. Their dreams are undisturbed, their bodies relaxed. The knowledge that someone is watching over them allows them to surrender fully to rest, to let go of worry and fear. The trust that binds the family together is strengthened by this nightly ritual, the unspoken understanding that each will take their turn, that no one is ever truly alone. The night watch is not a burden, but a privilege. It is a time for reflection, for quiet contemplation. The watchful one moves through the longhouse, tending the fire, adjusting a blanket, listening to the stories of the night. The world is different in these hours, softer, more mysterious. The boundaries between waking and dreaming blur, and the mind drifts on the edge of sleep. The watchful one is both present and apart, a bridge between the world of dreams and the world of waking. Sometimes the night watch is shared. Two or more take turns, their voices low and gentle. They speak of the day's events, of hopes and fears, of plans for the future. The act of keeping watch becomes a time for connection, for the sharing of secrets, for the forging of bonds. The night, so often a time of solitude, becomes a time of intimacy, of quiet companionship. The children, too, learn the importance of the night watch. As they grow, they are given small tasks, a chance to prove their courage and responsibility. They help tend the fire, check the doors, listen to the sounds of the night. The lessons learned in these hours are carried with them into adulthood, shaping their understanding of duty and care. The act of keeping watch becomes a rite of passage, a way of joining the circle of trust that holds the family together. The animals, sheltered at one end of the longhouse, are part of this nightly ritual. Their presence is a source of comfort, their quiet breathing a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. The watchful one checks their stalls, offers a gentle word, a reassuring touch. The animals, too, are guardians in their own way, their senses attuned to the world outside, their instincts a warning of danger or change. The night watch is a tradition that extends beyond the family. In larger settlements, the role is shared among neighbors. Each household takes its turn, the responsibility passed from one to another. The village becomes a circle of protection, each member watching over the others. The act of keeping watch is a symbol of community, a reminder that safety is a collective effort, that the bonds of trust extend beyond the walls of the longhouse. The tools of the night watch are simple: a sturdy staff, a warm cloak, a keen eye. The watchful one moves quietly, their footsteps muffled by straw and earth. Their senses are heightened, their mind alert. The act of keeping watch is both physical and spiritual, a way of connecting with the world, of honoring the cycles of night and day. The watchful one is both guardian and witness, holding the memory of the night, carrying its stories into the dawn. As the first light of morning touches the sky, the night watch comes to an end. The watchful one stirs the fire, opens the shutters, greets the day with a quiet sense of accomplishment. The family awakens, unaware of the small dangers averted, the quiet care that has kept them safe. The night watch slips back into the rhythm of daily life, their role unspoken but deeply valued. The act of keeping watch is a gift, a silent offering to the well-being of all. The tradition of the night watch is a testament to the resilience and wisdom of the Vikings. In a world that can be unpredictable and wild, the act of staying awake, of watching over others, is a source of strength. The night, with all its mysteries and uncertainties, is transformed by the presence of the watchful one. The longhouse, with its circle of sleepers, its flickering fire, its gentle rhythms, is a sanctuary, a place where the magic of sleep is protected, where the promise of safety is kept. In the quiet of the night, as the world outside fades into darkness, the watchful one stands guard there, heart steady, their eyes bright. The family sleeps, their dreams undisturbed, their bodies at peace. The night watch is a reminder that even in the deepest darkness, there is always a light, a presence, a promise that all will be well. 9. Norse beliefs in sleep-in, the gentle hush that settles over the longhouse. As the fire's glow softens and the world outside is wrapped in darkness, the Vikings slip quietly into the realm of dreams. For them, sleep is not merely a time for rest, but a passage into another world, a place where the boundaries between the seen and unseen grow thin. In the soft embrace of night, the Norse people believe that dreams are more than fleeting images. They are messages, omens, and sometimes gifts from the gods themselves. The stories told by the hearth linger in the air, their words weaving a layer, tapestry that stretches from the waking world into the land of dreams. The Vikings speak of Odin, the All-Father, who wanders the worlds in search of wisdom. It is said that Odin himself values dreams, for in them, truths are revealed that cannot be found in the light of day. The god of poetry and prophecy, he is believed to send visions to those he favors, whispering secrets into the ears of sleepers. The people listen, hoping to catch a fragment of his wisdom as they drift into slumber. Freya, the goddess of love and beauty, is also a guardian of dreams. Her presence is felt in the gentle touch of sleep, in the comfort of a soft bed, in the sweetness of a peaceful night. She is called upon to bless the dreams of children, to bring comfort to those who mourn, to guide the hearts of lovers. The Vikings offer her small tokens, a sprig of herbs, a whispered prayer, a song sung softly in the darkness. In return, they hope for dreams filled with beauty, with hope, with the promise of new beginnings. The world of dreams is a place of mystery and magic. The Vikings believe that the soul, freed from the body, can wander far and wide. It may visit distant lands, speak with ancestors, or glimpse the future. Some dreams are vivid and clear, their meaning obvious. Others are tangled and strange, their messages hidden beneath layers of symbol and story. The wise women of the village, skilled in the art of dream interpretation, are called upon to unravel these mysteries. Their words are sought after, their insights treasured. For in the world of the Vikings, dreams are not to be ignored. The longhouse itself is a vessel for dreams. Its walls, thick and sturdy, hold the memories of countless nights. The fire's glow casts shifting patterns on the ceiling, shapes that become ships sailing across the sea, wolves running through the forest, gods walking among mortals. The children, nestled close to their parents, listen to the stories of the gods, their minds filled with images that will color their dreams. The elders, wise and weathered, remember their own dreams, the visions that have guided them through life. Nightmares, too, are part of the Viking world. The people believe that not all dreams are gifts. Some are warnings, sent by restless spirits or mischievous beings. The Mare, a shadowy creature of legend, is said to ride the chests of sleepers, bringing troubled dreams and restless nights. To ward off such visitations, the Vikings hang protective charms above their beds, carve runes into the wood, and recite prayers before sleep. The presence of family, the warmth of the fire, the comfort of familiar rituals, all serve to keep the darkness at bay. The act of dreaming is a communal experience. In the morning, as a family gathers around the fire, dreams are shared and discussed. A child's vision of a great eagle soaring above the sea, a mother's dream of a field of golden grain, a father's memory of a long-lost friend. Each dream is a thread in the tapestry of the family's life. A story to be told, a mystery to be explored. The wise women listen, their eyes bright, their minds turning over the symbols and signs. Their interpretations are gentle, their words chosen with care. For dreams are delicate things, easily broken by harshness or disbelief. The Vikings believe that dreams can shape the future. A vision of a ship sailing into a storm may be a warning. A dream of a feast, a promise of good fortune. The gods speak in riddles, their messages hidden in the folds of sleep. The people learn to listen, to pay attention, to honor the wisdom that comes in the quiet hours of the night. The act of dreaming becomes a way of connecting with the divine, of seeking guidance, of finding hope in the midst of uncertainty. The rituals surrounding sleep are designed to invite good dreams. The bed is made with care, the furs smoothed, the feathers fluffed. A sprig of sweet-smelling herbs is tucked beneath the pillow, a charm hung above the bed. The family gathers for a final story. A song, a prayer. The fire is banked, the door is secured, the world outside held at bay. In this space, safe and warm, the mind is free to wander, to explore the landscapes of dream. The children are taught to respect their dreams, to remember them, to share them with those they trust. The elders encourage them to keep dream journals, to draw pictures of the visions they see. The act of remembering becomes a way of honoring the self, of connecting with the past, of preparing for the future. The family, gathered together in the quiet of the longhouse, becomes a circle of dreamers, each contributing to the shared story of the night. The world outside the longhouse is vast and mysterious. The forests are deep, the mountains high, the sea endless. In dreams, the Vikings travel these landscapes, guided by the gods, protected by the spirits of their ancestors. The act of dreaming becomes a journey, a way of exploring the unknown, of facing fears, of discovering hidden strengths. The night, with all its mysteries, becomes a time of adventure, a time of growth, a time of transformation. The wisdom of the Vikings lies in their ability to embrace the unknown, to find meaning in the mysteries of the night. They do not fear their dreams, but welcome them, trusting that the gods will guide them, that the spirits of their ancestors will protect them. The act of dreaming becomes a way of honoring the cycles of life, of finding peace in the midst of uncertainty, of celebrating the beauty and wonder of the world. In the quiet of the longhouse, as the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness, the family sleeps, their dreams mingling, their hearts at peace. The gods watch over them, their presence felt in the gentle touch of sleep, the comfort of a soft bed, the sweetness of a peaceful night. The act of dreaming, of surrendering to the mysteries of the night, is a gift, a blessing, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, always beauty, always the promise of a new day. 8. Rest as medicine in the gentle hush of the longhouse, where the fire's glow flickers softly, and the world outside is wrapped in darkness. The Vikings understand that sleep is more than a nightly ritual. It is a medicine, a balm for the body and the spirit. The wisdom of the North teaches that rest is not a weakness, but a source of strength, a wellspring from which health and vitality flow. In the quiet hours of the night, the body heals, the mind finds peace, and the soul is restored. The day's labors are many. The fields must be tended, the animals cared for, the nets mended, the wood chopped. The body is pushed and tested, muscles aching, hands roughened by work. The cold bites at the skin. The wind tugs at hair and cloak. The world demands much, and so the Vikings learn to cherish the hours of rest, to honor the need for sleep. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, Its flickering fire, its gentle rhythms, becomes a sanctuary, a place where the body can surrender, where the mind can let go. The act of preparing for sleep is a ritual of care. The bedding is arranged with attention, the furs fluffed, the straw smoothed. A warm drink is shared, perhaps a cup of mead or a simple broth. The fire is banked, the shutters closed. The world outside held at bay. The family gathers, sharing quiet words, gentle laughter, the comfort of familiar voices. The worries of the day are set aside, replaced by the promise of rest. The body, wrapped in warmth, begins to relax, the tension easing from tired muscles, the breath slowing, deepening. The Vikings believe that sleep is a time for healing. The body, given the chance to rest, repairs itself. The aches and pains of the day fade, wounds knit, strength returns. The mind, freed from the demands of the waking world, drifts into dreams, sorting and sifting, finding meaning in the events of the day. The soul, too, is nourished. The quiet of the night, the comfort of family, the safety of home, all combine to create a space where healing can happen. When illness comes, as it sometimes does, the need for rest becomes even more important. The sick are cared for with tenderness, their beds placed close to the fire, their bodies wrapped in the softest furs. The wise women of the village bring herbs and potions, their hands gentle, their voices soothing. They know the power of sleep, the way it can turn the tide of illness, the way it can restore hope. The family gathers close, offering comfort, sharing stories, singing songs. The act of caring for the sick is a communal effort, a reminder that healing is not just a matter of the body, but of the heart. The herbs used to aid sleep are chosen with care. Valerian root, chamomile, and sweet woodruff are gathered from the fields and forests, dried and stored for the long winter nights. A sachet of herbs is tucked beneath the pillow, a cup of tea brewed and shared. The scent of lavender drifts through the longhouse, calming the mind, inviting rest. The rituals of sleep are gentle, unhurried. Each step is a reminder that healing takes time, that the body knows what it needs. Nightmares and troubled sleep are met with compassion. The Vikings understand that the mind, like the body, sometimes needs help to find peace. A child who wakes in fear is gathered into loving arms, soothed with gentle words. A lullaby sung softly in the darkness. The elders share stories of their own troubled nights, their voices steady and reassuring. The act of comforting is a medicine in itself, a way of reminding each other that no one is ever truly alone. The wisdom of the North teaches that rest is a gift not to be taken for granted. The cycles of work and rest, of activity and sleep, are honored. The family rises with the sun, works by its light, and rests when it fades. The rhythm of the seasons, the turning of the earth, all shape the patterns of sleep. In winter, when the nights are long, the hours of rest are many. In summer, when the days stretch on, sleep comes in shorter intervals. The body adapts, finding balance. The act of listening to the body, of honoring its needs, is a form of wisdom, a way of living in harmony with the world. The act of sleeping is also a time for the mind to heal. The worries and fears of the day are set aside. The mind free to wander, to dream, to find solutions. The Vikings believe that dreams can bring answers, that the gods may speak in the quiet hours of the night. The act of dreaming becomes a way of seeking guidance, of finding hope. The mind, given the chance to rest, returns to the world refreshed, ready to face the challenges of a new day. The elders, wise with years, teach the value of rest. They remind the young that strength is not just a matter of muscle, but of spirit, that the body must be cared for, that sleep is as important as food or water. Their words are gentle, their lessons learned through experience. The act of resting, of allowing the body to heal, is a form of respect, a way of honoring the self. The family, gathered together in the quiet of the longhouse, becomes a circle of care, each member watching over the others, each offering comfort and support. The world outside the longhouse is often harsh. The cold, the wind, the demands of daily life all take their toll. But within these walls, there is a space for healing, for renewal. The act of sleeping, of surrendering to the rhythms of the night, is a way of finding peace, of restoring balance. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, its flickering fire, its gentle rituals, is a sanctuary, a place where the magic of healing is woven into the fabric of life. The Vikings understand that healing is not always quick, that some wounds take time, that some sorrows linger. The act of resting, of allowing the body and mind to heal, is an act of patience, a form of hope. The family, bound together by love and necessity, becomes a source of strength. The act of caring for one another, of sharing the burdens of illness and sorrow, is a way of honoring the bonds that hold them together in the quiet of the night. As the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness, the family sleeps, their bodies healing, their minds at peace. The act of sleeping, of surrendering to the gentle rhythms of the night, is a gift, a blessing, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, always the promise of renewal, always the gentle magic of healing slumber. 7. Song stories and bedtime rituals as the last light of day slips away and the longhouse settles into its evening hush. A different kind of magic begins to weave through the air. The world outside is quiet, the wind whispering through the trees, the distant call of a night bird echoing across the fields. Inside, the fire glows softly, its warmth gathering the family close. This is the hour of gentle rituals, of songs and stories, of the small, loving acts that guide the mind and body toward rest. The children, their cheeks flushed from the day's play, gather at their parents' sides. Their eyes are heavy, but their hearts are eager. They know that before sleep claims them, there are stories to be told, songs to be sung, and rituals to be observed. The elders, wise and patient, settle into their places, their voices ready to share the wisdom of years. The longhouse, filled with the scent of wood smoke and wool, becomes a cradle for dreams, a place where the boundaries between waking and sleeping blur. The telling of stories is an art. Each tale is chosen with care, its words shaped by the needs of the moment. Sometimes the stories are of gods and heroes, of Odin's search for wisdom, of Thor's mighty hammer, of Freya's gentle heart. The children listen, wide-eyed, their imaginations painting vivid pictures in the flickering firelight. The stories are more than entertainment. They are lessons, reminders of courage, kindness, and the importance of family. The elders' voices rise and fall, their words weaving a tapestry that stretches from the past into the future. Other times, the stories are of the land itself, of the great forests and deep fjords, of the animals that roam the wild places. The children learn the names of the stars, the habits of the fox and the bear, the secrets of the river and the sea. The stories teach them to respect the world around them, to see themselves as part of a larger whole. The act of listening becomes a way of belonging, a way of finding one's place in the world. Songs, too, are a part of the bedtime ritual. The melodies are simple, the words familiar, passed down from generation to generation. The lullabies are soft and soothing, their rhythms echoing the gentle rocking of a cradle. The mothers and fathers sing of safe journeys, of peaceful nights, of dreams filled with light. The children, nestled beneath their furs, feel the music wrap around them like a warm embrace. The act of singing is a gift, a way of offering comfort, of easing fears, of guiding the mind toward rest. The rituals of bedtime are gentle and unhurried. The children are washed with water warmed by the fire, their faces and hands scrubbed clean, their hair is brushed, their cheeks kissed, a blessing whispered in a soft voice. The parents move through the longhouse, checking the shutters, banking the fire, making sure that all is safe and secure. The animals are settled, the doors barred, the world outside held at bay. Each act is a promise, a reassurance that the night will pass in peace. Sometimes, a favorite object is tucked into bed. A carved wooden animal, a scrap of cloth, a smooth stone found by the river. These small treasures are tokens of comfort, reminders of the day's adventures. The act of holding something familiar eases the transition from waking to sleeping. The children clutch their treasures close, their fingers curling around them as they drift into dreams. The elders, too, have their rituals. They may recite old prayers, their words a bridge to the ancestors, or trace the patterns of runes on the wooden beams above their beds. The act of remembering, of honoring those who have come before, brings comfort, a sense of continuity. The night is not a time of fear, but a time of connection. A time to draw close to family, to the land, to the stories that shape the world. The act of storytelling is a communal experience. The family gathers in a circle, the fire at the center. Each person has a turn to speak, to share a memory, a hope, a dream. The children learn to listen, to wait their turn, to respect the voices of others. The act of sharing becomes a way of building trust, of strengthening the bonds that hold the family together. The stories linger in the air, their words mingling with the smoke and the shadows, becoming part of the fabric of the night. The songs and stories are not just for the children. The adults, too, find comfort in the familiar rhythms, the gentle melodies, the wisdom of old tales. The act of singing together, of sharing stories, is a way of marking the passage of time, of honoring the cycles of the seasons. The family, gathered together in the quiet of the longhouse, becomes a circle of memory, each voice adding to the song, each story a thread in the tapestry of life. The rituals of bedtime are shaped by the needs of the moment. Sometimes the night is filled with laughter, with the retelling of funny stories, the singing of lively songs. Other times the mood is quiet, the stories gentle, the songs soft and slow. The family adapts, finding comfort in the rituals, in the knowledge that each night brings its own gifts, its own lessons. The act of preparing for sleep becomes a way of honoring the self, of caring for the body and the mind. The world outside the longhouse is vast and mysterious. The forests are deep, the mountains high, the sea endless. But within these walls, there is a sense of safety, of belonging. The act of sharing stories and songs, of observing gentle rituals, creates a space where the mind can rest, where the heart can find peace. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, its flickering fire, its gentle rhythms, is a sanctuary, a place where the magic of sleep is woven into the fabric of life. The wisdom of the Vikings lies in their understanding of the importance of ritual, of the power of words and music to soothe and heal. They know that sleep is not just a physical need, but a spiritual one, that the mind and heart must be prepared for rest. The act of singing a lullaby, of telling a story, of sharing a quiet moment, is a way of honoring the self, of caring for the soul. The family, bound together by love and tradition, becomes a source of strength, a wellspring of comfort. In the quiet of the night, as the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness, the family sleeps, their dreams shaped by the stories and songs of the evening. The act of sharing, of caring, of observing gentle rituals is a gift, a blessing, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, always comfort, always the gentle lull of sleep. 6. Evening meals and sleep. As dusk settles over the northern land, the longhouse becomes a haven of gentle activity. The world outside grows dim, the sky painted in deepening shades of blue and violet. Inside, the air is alive with the soft clatter of wooden bowls, the low hum of voices, and the comforting aroma of food prepared with care. The evening meal is not simply a pause for hunger, but a cherished ritual, a gentle bridge between the labors of the day and the promise of rest. The hearth, glowing with steady embers, is the heart of the home. Here, a pot of stew simmers quietly, its surface rippling with the flavors of root vegetables, wild herbs, and morsels of salted meat. The bread, baked earlier in the day, is torn into pieces and passed from hand to hand. Each bite carries the memory of fields tilled and grain harvested. The cheese, firm and tangy, is sliced with a practiced hand, and a small dish of honey glistens in the firelight, a rare treat saved. For special nights, the family gathers on benches and stools, their faces illuminated by the shifting glow of the fire. The youngest children are nestled close to their mothers, their small hands reaching eagerly for a taste of something sweet. The older children, their cheeks still flushed from the day's adventures, listen as the adults share quiet conversation. The elders, wrapped in woolen shawls, offer a blessing for the meal, their words a gentle reminder of gratitude for the earth's bounty. The meal unfolds slowly. Each person eats at their own pace, savoring the warmth and comfort that comes with every mouthful. There is no rush, no sense of urgency. The world outside may be wild and unpredictable, but within these walls, time stretches and softens. The act of eating together is a quiet celebration, a way of weaving the family closer, of sharing not just food, but stories, laughter, and the simple pleasure of being together. The foods chosen for the evening are guided by the wisdom of the seasons. In the cold months, the stew is thick and hearty, rich with fat and marrow to sustain the body through long nights. In the warmer seasons, the meal is lighter, perhaps a dish of fresh fish caught from a nearby stream, or a salad of wild greens and herbs gathered from the forest's edge. The flavors are honest, shaped by the land and the weather. Each meal is a reflection of the world outside, a way of bringing the landscape into the home. After the meal, the family lingers. The children nibble on dried apples or berries, their fingers sticky with honey. The adults sip from mugs of warm milk or mead, the sweetness lingering on their tongues. The fire is stoked, sending a wave of heat through the room. The animals, settled in their stalls at the far end of the longhouse, add their own quiet presence, the soft sound of chewing and the occasional lowing blending with the gentle murmur of voices. The transition from meal to rest is marked by small, familiar gestures. The table is cleared, the bowls rinsed and set aside. The floor is swept, the benches pushed back. The children are washed with water warmed by the fire, their faces and hands cleaned of the day's dust. The adults share a final word, a soft laugh, a look that speaks of comfort and belonging. The longhouse grows quieter, the energy of the day giving way to the calm of evening. The foods eaten at night are chosen not only for nourishment, but for their soothing qualities. Warm porridge, thick with grains and sweetened with a touch of honey, is a favorite. It's gentle. Heat settles the stomach, inviting drowsiness. Herbal teas, brewed from chamomile, mint, or wild thyme, are sipped slowly, their calming scents rising with the steam. These simple remedies are passed down through generations, their effects trusted and cherished. The act of eating together is a form of care, a way of tending to the needs of the body and the spirit. The fullness that follows a good meal is not just physical, but emotional. It is the comfort of knowing that one is safe, that the day's work is done, that the night will be spent in the company of loved ones. The children, their bellies warm and their eyes heavy, begin to drift toward sleep, their heads resting on their mother's laps or nestled against a favorite fur. The adults, too, feel the gentle pull of rest. The conversation grows softer, the laughter fades, the fire is banked for the night, its glow a promise of warmth until morning. The longhouse, once filled with the sounds of eating and talking, becomes a place of stillness. The only sounds are the quiet breathing of the family, the soft crackle of the fire, the distant sigh of the wind outside. The connection between food and sleep is understood deeply. The Vikings know that a well-fed body is more likely to find peace in the night, that certain foods can ease the mind and prepare it for dreams. The evening meal is a ritual of transition, a way of signaling to the body that it is time to let go, to rest, to heal. The act of sharing food is a way of sharing comfort, of building a sense of security that lingers long after the last bite is eaten. In the quiet that follows the meal, the family prepares for bed. The children are tucked beneath layers of furs, their faces relaxed in sleep. The adults settle into their own beds, their thoughts drifting. The longhouse, now dark and still, holds the memory of the meal, the warmth of the fire, the closeness of family. The night stretches ahead, peaceful and unhurried. The world outside may be vast and unknown, but within these walls there is comfort, there is safety, there is the gentle promise of rest. The evening feast, simple and unadorned, is a cornerstone of Viking life. It is a time for gratitude, for connection, for the quiet joy of being together. The foods chosen, the rituals observed, the stories shared, all serve to prepare the mind and body for the healing power of sleep. In this way, the act of eating becomes more than sustenance. It becomes a lullaby, a gentle invitation to let go of the day and surrender to the peace of the night. 5. Aromas and sleep aids. As the last embers of daylight fade and the longhouse settles into its evening hush, the world within becomes a tapestry of gentle scents. Each breath drawn in the quiet dark is filled with the memory of the day and the promise of rest. The air is thick with the aroma of wood smoke, a constant companion in the north. Its presence is not harsh, but comforting, a reminder of warmth and safety. The fire, banked low for the night, releases a slow, steady perfume, mingling with the other fragrances that drift through the home. The Vikings understand the power of scent. They know that certain smells can soothe the mind, ease the body, and invite sleep. The hearth is more than a source of heat. It is a place where herbs are dried, where bundles of wildflowers hang from the rafters, their petals releasing their essence into the air. Lavender, gathered from the meadows in the brief northern summer, is prized for its calming effect. Its purple blooms are woven into small sachets, tucked beneath pillows or scattered among the furs. The gentle scent lingers, a soft invitation to dreams. Sweet woodruff, with its delicate white flowers, is another favorite. Its aroma is fresh and green, a reminder of spring, even in the heart of winter. The women of the longhouse gather it in armfuls, tying it into bundles that are hung above the beds. As the air grows dry and cold, the woodruff releases its fragrance, filling the room with a sense of renewal. The children, drifting into sleep, breathe in the scent, their dreams touched by the memory of green fields and sunlight. Birch bark, peeled from the trees at the edge of the forest, is burned in the hearth. Its smoke is light and sweet, carrying with it the spirit of the woods. The elders say that birch smoke keeps away bad dreams, that it purifies the air and the soul. On nights when the wind howls and the world outside feels far away, the fire is fed with birch, its scent rising to mingle with the other aromas of the home. The family gathers close, comforted by the familiar smell, the sense of protection it brings. Juniper, too, finds its place in the Viking night. Its sharp, clean fragrance is believed to ward off illness, to clear the mind and body. Sprigs of juniper are placed near the hearth, their needles crackling in the heat, releasing their essence into the air. The wise women use juniper in their remedies, brewing it into teas, crushing it into salves. The scent is strong, invigorating, a reminder of the wild places beyond the walls. The act of breathing in juniper is a way of connecting with the land, of drawing strength from its untamed beauty. The bedding itself carries its own scents. The furs, tanned and cured with care, hold the aroma of the animals that once roamed the forests and fields. The straw, fresh and golden, smells of summer, of sun-warmed earth and ripening grain. The feathers, gathered from geese and ducks, are light and clean. Each layer of the bed adds its own note to the symphony of smells. The act of preparing the bed is a ritual, a way of layering comfort, of building a nest that invites sleep. The act of scenting the home is not only practical, but deeply meaningful. The Vikings believed that certain aromas can carry prayers, that the smoke rising from the hearth can reach the gods. On special nights, herbs are burned as offerings, their fragrance filling the longhouse. The family gathers in silence, each person lost in their own thoughts. The act of breathing in the scented air becomes a form of meditation, a way of letting go of the day, of preparing for the journey into sleep. The use of scent is also a way of marking the seasons. In spring, the air is filled with the smell of new growth, of damp earth and budding leaves. In summer, the scent of wildflowers drifts through the open windows, mingling with the aroma of fresh bread and sweet berries. In autumn, the air is rich with the smell of apples, of drying herbs, of wood stacked for the winter. In winter, the scent of smoke and pine fills the home, a reminder of warmth in the midst of cold. Each season brings its own fragrances, its own memories, its own invitation to rest. The children, sensitive to the world of scent, find comfort in these rituals. A favorite herb tucked beneath a pillow, a sprig of lavender held in a small hand, a piece of birch bark kept as a talisman. These small treasures are part of the bedtime routine, a way of easing the transition from waking to sleeping. The act of breathing in a familiar scent is a way of finding safety, of knowing that one is home. The wise women, keepers of the old knowledge, teach the family how to use scent as medicine. They know which herbs calm the mind, which ease pain, which invite restful sleep. Their hands are skilled, their eyes bright. With understanding, they pass their knowledge to the next generation, teaching the children to gather, to dry, to blend. The act of making a sleep sachet, of preparing a bundle of herbs, is a lesson in patience, in care, in the quiet magic of the everyday. The longhouse, filled with the sense of hearth and home, becomes a sanctuary. The world outside may be wild and unpredictable, but within these walls there is order, there is comfort, there is the gentle promise of rest. The act of breathing in the scented air is a way of letting go, of surrendering to the night. The family, gathered close, finds peace in the familiar smells, in the rituals that mark the end of the day. As the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness, the scents of the longhouse linger. They are a memory of the day, a promise of the night, a gentle invitation to sleep. The family, wrapped in furs, their bodies relaxed, their minds at ease, drifts into dreams. The scents of lavender, woodruff, birch, and juniper weave through their sleep, carrying them gently into the world of rest. But the world of Viking scents is not limited to the hearth and the bed. The very structure of the longhouse is alive with aroma. The timbers, cut from ancient forests, release their own resinous perfume, especially when warmed by the fire. The thatch overhead, woven from reeds and grasses, holds the scent of the summer sun. The clay and earth that seal the walls carry the memory of rain and growing things. The home itself breathes, its scents shifting with the weather, the season, the hour. On festival nights, the air is thick with the fragrance of roasting meat, of spiced ale, of sweet cakes baked with honey and nuts. The scents of celebration linger long after the feast is done, mingling with the everyday aromas of the home. The children remember these nights, the way the air seemed to shimmer with possibility, the way the scents promised joy and abundance. The act of recalling these aromas is a way of holding on to happiness, of carrying it into the quiet of sleep. The Vikings also used scent as a way of marking important moments. A birth is greeted with the burning of fragrant herbs, a marriage with the scattering of petals, a death with the slow, solemn release of smoke. Each event is given its own aroma, its own memory. The act of breathing in these scents is a way of honoring the passage of time, of marking the turning points of life. The animals, too, are part of this world of scent. The sheep and goats, the horses and dogs, Each bring their own fragrance to the home. The smell of wool, of leather, of hay and grain all blend into the air. The act of caring for the animals, of feeding and grooming them, is another way of connecting with the world of scent. The children learn to recognize each animal by its smell, to find comfort in the yasmamav. Familiar aromas of the barn and the byre. The world outside the longhouse is filled with its own scents. The forest, deep and mysterious, offers the sharp tang of pine, the sweetness of moss, the earthy richness of fallen leaves. The sea, ever present, brings the salt of the tide, the freshness of the wind, the promise of distant places. The act of stepping outside at night, of breathing in the cool air, is a way of remembering the vastness of the world, of finding one's place within it. The Vikings believe that scent can carry memory, that a single whiff of smoke or herb can bring back a moment long past. The act of breathing in the air of the longhouse is a way of connecting with ancestors, of honoring the stories that have shaped the family. The children are taught to pay attention to scent, to use it as a guide, a comfort, a source of wisdom. In the quiet of the night, as the family drifts into sleep, the scents of the longhouse weave through their dreams. The aroma of lavender calms the mind. The sweetness of woodruff brings hope. The smoke of birch offers protection. The sharpness of juniper gives strength. The world of scent is a world of magic, a world of healing, a world of gentle power. The act of tending to the scents of the home is a form of care, a way of honoring the needs of the body and the spirit. The wise women, the mothers and grandmothers, the children who gather herbs and flowers, all play a part in this quiet magic. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, its flickering fire, its ever-changing aromas, is a sanctuary, a place where the senses are soothed, where the mind can rest, where the soul can find peace, as the night deepens and the world outside grows still. The scents of the hearth linger. They are a promise, a comfort, a gentle invitation to let go of the day and surrender to the healing power of sleep. The family, wrapped in furs, their bodies relaxed, their minds at ease, drifts into dreams. The scents of the longhouse carry them gently into the world of rest, where the magic of sleep awaits. 4. Clothing and nightwears. The last embers of the hearth glow softly, and the longhouse settles into its gentle hush. The Vikings prepare for the night in ways both practical and tender. The world outside is cool, the air tinged with the scent of pine and distant sea. Within these sturdy walls, the act of dressing for sleep is a ritual of comfort, a quiet transition from the burdens of the day to the peace of the night. The clothing worn to bed is simple, shaped by the needs of the land and the wisdom of generations. The Vikings know that warmth is a treasure, especially when the wind howls and the frost creeps along the edges of the world. Each person, from the smallest child to the eldest grandparent, has their own way of preparing for sleep. The garments chosen are not elaborate, but each is cherished. Each a shield against the chill that presses close in the darkness. Linen, spun from flax gathered in the brief northern summer, is the fabric most often chosen for nightwear. Its touch is soft, cool in the warmth of summer, gentle against the skin. The women of the longhouse, skilled with spindle and loom, weave linen into long shirts and simple tunics. The fabric is left undyed, its natural color a pale echo of moonlight. The shirts are loose, allowing the body to breathe, the sleeves long enough to cover the wrists, the hems falling to the knees or even the ankles. The act of slipping into a linen shirt is a small comfort, a signal to the body that the day is done. In the cold months, wool becomes the fabric of choice. The sheep that graze the hillsides provide thick, warm fleece, spun and woven into blankets, cloaks, and night tunics. The wool is sometimes left in its natural shades of cream and brown, sometimes dyed with the colors of the earth matter root for red, woad for blue, walnut for deep brown. The woolen garments are heavier, their weight a gentle pressure that soothes tired muscles. The children are wrapped in small woolen blankets, their faces peeking out, their bodies cocooned in warmth. The act of preparing for bed is a family affair. The mothers help the youngest children, guiding small arms into sleeves, tucking stray curls beneath linen caps. The fathers check the fire, making sure the embers will last until morning. The elders settle into their beds, their movements slow and careful. Each person has their own small rituals, a favorite blanket, a cherished shirt, a piece of jewelry removed and set aside. The act of undressing, of laying aside the garments of the day, is a way of letting go, of surrendering to the gentle pull of sleep. The Vikings understand that comfort is not just a matter of warmth, but of familiarity. The nightwear is often scented with herbs, lavender or sweet woodruff tucked into the folds. The fabric carries the memory of summer fields, the promise of rest. The children, sensitive to the world of touch and smell, find comfort in the softness of linen, the weight of wool, the scent of home. The act of dressing for bed becomes a way of soothing the senses, of preparing the mind for dreams. Footwear is set aside, the rough leather shoes and boots placed near the door. The feet, freed from the constraints of the day, are warmed by the fire, massaged by gentle hands. In the coldest months, woolen socks or soft leather slippers are worn to bed. Their presence, a small luxury, a barrier against the chill that seeps up from the earth. The act of caring for the feet is a quiet kindness, a way of honoring the body's journey through the day. The bedding itself is part of the night's embrace. The furs, soft and thick, are arranged with care. The straw fluffed, the feathers shaken. Each person has their own place, their own nest of warmth. The act of settling into bed, of pulling the covers close, is a ritual of safety, a way of drawing a line between the world outside and the world within. The children snuggle close to their parents, their bodies sharing warmth, their dreams protected by the circle of family. The elders, wise with years, have their own traditions. Some wear special nightcaps, knitted from fine wool, their edges embroidered with simple patterns. The caps are believed to keep away headaches, to guard against the cold. The act of donning a nightcap is a gesture of care, a way of honoring the wisdom of the past. The elders may also wrap themselves in extra layers, a shawl or a cloak, their bodies more sensitive to the chill. Their movements are slow, deliberate, each gesture a reminder of the patience that comes with age. The act of dressing for sleep is also a way of marking the passage of time. The children grow, their nightshirts replaced with larger ones, the hems let down, the sleeves lengthened. The garments are handed down, patched and mended, each stitch a memory, a story. The act of wearing a shirt that once belonged to a parent or grandparent is a way of connecting with the past, of honoring the bonds that hold the family together. The Vikings believe that the way one prepares for sleep can shape the quality of rest. The act of caring for the body, of choosing comfortable clothing, of creating a nest of warmth, is a form of respect, a way of honoring the self. The family, gathered together in the quiet of the longhouse, becomes a circle of care, each person watching over the others, each offering comfort and support. The act of dressing for bed is a gentle reminder that rest is a gift, a blessing, a time for healing and renewal. The world outside the longhouse is often harsh, the wind sharp, the nights long, but within these walls there is comfort, there is warmth, there is the gentle embrace of night, the act of preparing for sleep, of dressing in soft linen or warm wool, of settling into a bed of furs and feathers, is a way of creating safety, of building a sanctuary against the darkness. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, its flickering fire, its gentle rituals, is a place where the body can rest, where the mind can find peace, where the soul can be nourished. The wisdom of the Vikings lies in their understanding of the importance of small comforts, of the power of ritual. The act of dressing for sleep is not just a matter of necessity, but a celebration of the body, a way of honoring the journey from waking to dreaming. The family, bound together by love and tradition, moves as one, their lives shaped by the turning of the earth, the changing of the seasons, the gentle magic of night, in the quiet of the night, as the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness. The family sleeps, their bodies wrapped in linen and wool, their hearts at peace, the act of dressing. For bed, of preparing for rest, is a gift, a blessing, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always comfort, always warmth, always the gentle promise of sleep. 3. Lighting and the art of dimming as the sun slips away and the world outside. The longhouse is swallowed by the velvet hush of night. The Vikings turn their attention to the subtle art of lighting. The day's brightness fades, replaced by a softer, more forgiving glow. The longhouse, once filled with a golden spill of sunlight through small horn windows, now becomes a world of shadows and gentle illumination. The transition from day to night is not abrupt, but a slow, careful dimming. A ritual that soothes the mind and prepares the body for rest. The heart of the home is the hearth. Its fire, tended with patience, is the source of both warmth and light. As evening deepens, the flames are coaxed lower, the embers banked. Light that remains is gentle, flickering, never harsh. The shadows it casts are long and soft, dancing across the walls. The fire's glow is a comfort, a reminder that even in the deepest darkness, there is always a spark of warmth, a promise of safety. Around the hearth, small lamps are placed. Each is a simple vessel, carved from soapstone or shaped from clay, filled with animal fat or fish. Oil, a wick, twisted from linen or rush, is set alight. The flame is small, steady, its light golden and calm. The lamps are moved as needed, set near the beds of children, placed by the elders' seats. Their glow is never overwhelming, but always enough to chase away the uncertainty of the night. The Vikings understand that too much light can disturb the peace of evening. The act of dimming is a conscious choice, a way of signaling to the body that the day is done. The lamps are shielded, their flames protected from drafts. The light is directed downward, away from the eyes. The longhouse becomes a world of pools, of light and islands of shadow. Each person finds their own place within this landscape, their own balance between brightness and dark. The horn windows, so useful in the day, are shuttered at night. The thin slices of horn, translucent and golden, are covered with wooden panels. The world outside is kept at bay, the cold and the wind shut out. The only light that enters is the silver of the moon, the distant shimmer of stars. On clear nights, the aurora may dance across the sky, its green and violet ribbons reflected. In the snow, the family gathers at the door, watching in silence. The beauty of the night, a gentle reminder of the world's wonder. Candles, though rare and precious, are sometimes used. Beeswax, gathered in the summer, is melted and poured into small molds. The candles are saved for special occasions, for nights of celebration or sorrow. Their light is pure, their scent sweet. The act of lighting a candle is a ritual, a way of marking the passage of time, of honoring the sacredness of the night. The flame is watched with reverence, its steady glow a symbol of hope. The children, sensitive to the world of light and shadow, find comfort in the gentle dark. The act of dimming the lamps, of lowering the fire, is a signal that it is time to rest. Their eyes grow heavy, their voices soft. The adults move quietly, their footsteps muffled by straw and rushes. The longhouse becomes a place of stillness. The only sounds the crackle of the fire, the soft breathing of sleepers, the distant sigh of the wind. The elders, wise with years, teach the value of darkness. They remind the young that the night is not to be feared, but embraced. The gentle dark is a time for dreams, for healing, for the quiet work of the soul. The act of dimming the lights is a way of honoring the rhythms of the earth, of surrendering to the wisdom of the body. The family, gathered together in the soft glow of the lamps, becomes a circle of trust, each person held in the gentle embrace of night. The act of lighting and dimming is also a way of marking the hours. The passing of time is measured not by clocks, but by the movement of light and shadow. The fire is tended, the lamps refilled, the candles trimmed. Each task is a ritual, a way of caring for the home, of preparing for the night. The children learn these tasks, their hands guided by patient elders. The act of lighting a lamp, of shielding a flame, becomes a lesson in patience, in care, in the quiet magic of the everyday. The world outside the longhouse is often harsh, the nights long and cold, but within these walls there is comfort. There is warmth. There is the gentle promise of rest. The act of dimming the lights, of embracing the darkness, is a way of creating safety, of building a sanctuary against the night. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, its flickering fire, its gentle rituals, is a place where the body can rest, where the mind can find peace, where the soul can be nourished. The wisdom of the Vikings lies in their understanding of the importance of balance, of the need for both light and dark. The act of lighting and dimming is not just a matter of necessity, but a celebration of the rhythms of life. The family, bound together by love and tradition, moves as one, their lives shaped by the turning of the earth, the changing of the seasons, the gentle magic of night. The act of dimming the longhouse is a communal one. The children are given small tasks, perhaps to fetch a lamp or to help shutter. The windows, the elders oversee, their eyes sharp in the dim light. The adults move with practiced ease, their hands steady, their voices low. The process is unhurried, a gentle unwinding of the day. The fire is banked, the lamps are checked, the candles are snuffed. Each step is a signal to the body, a reminder that it is time to let go, to rest, to dream. The materials used for lighting are gathered with care. The animal fat is rendered slowly, the fish oil collected from the catch. The wicks are twisted from linen scraps, the lamp vessels shaped by hand. Each item is valued, each task respected. The act of making a lamp, of preparing a wick, is a lesson in patience, in resourcefulness. The children watch, their eyes wide, their hands eager to help. The act of creating light is a form of magic, a way of holding back the darkness, of shaping the world. The scents of the lamps are part of the night's embrace. The animal fat burns with a faint, earthy aroma, the fish oil with a sharper tang. The beeswax candles release a sweetness, a memory of summer fields. The air is filled with the mingled scents of smoke and wax, of wool and wood. The act of breathing in these aromas is a way of grounding the self, of finding comfort in the familiar. The longhouse becomes a world of scent and shadow, of warmth and quiet. The act of dimming is also a way of honoring the spirits. The Vikings believe that the night is a time when the boundaries between worlds grow thin. The gentle dark is a space for dreams, for visions, for the quiet work of the soul. The act of lowering the lights is a way of inviting the spirits to visit, of welcoming the wisdom of the ancestors. The family gathers close, their voices low, their hearts open. The night becomes a time of connection, of reflection, of gentle magic. The world outside the longhouse is alive with its own light. The moon rises, casting silver across the fields. The stars appear, bright and cold. The aurora dances, its colors shifting and shimmering. The family steps outside, their breath rising in the cold air, their eyes lifted to the sky. The act of watching the night is a ritual, a way of honoring the beauty of the world, of finding one's place within it. The children point, their voices hushed, the adults smile, their hearts full. The night is a gift, a wonder, a promise. The act of returning to the longhouse, of stepping back into the gentle dark, is a comfort. The lamps are lit, the fire glows, the beds are waiting, the furs soft and warm. The family settles, their bodies relaxed, their minds at ease. The act of dimming the lights, of embracing the darkness, is a way of letting go, of surrendering to the night. The longhouse becomes a sanctuary, a place of peace, of safety, of rest. The wisdom of the Vikings is found in their ability to adapt, to find comfort in the rhythms of the world. The act of lighting and dimming is a reflection of this wisdom, a way of honoring the cycles of day and night, of finding balance between activity and rest. The family, bound together by love and tradition, moves as one, their lives shaped by the gentle magic of the night. In the quiet of the longhouse, as the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness, the family sleeps, their bodies wrapped in linen and wool, their hearts at peace. The act of dimming the lights, of preparing for rest, is a gift, a blessing, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always comfort, always warmth, always the gentle promise of sleep. 2. Community, trust, and nighttime peace when the last lamp is dimmed and the hush of night settles over the longhouse. A deeper kind of quiet fills the air. It is not the silence of emptiness, but the gentle stillness of a community at rest. The world outside is vast and wild, the forest deep, the sea ever-changing. Yet within these sturdy walls, there is a sense of belonging, a feeling that each person is held in the gentle web of kin and custom. The Vikings, for all their reputation as fierce travelers and warriors, know the value of peace, especially the peace that comes with trust and togetherness in the night. The longhouse is more than a shelter. It is a living heart, pulsing with the quiet rhythms of family and community. As the fire's glow fades to embers, the voices that filled the evening with stories and laughter grow soft. The children, nestled close to their parents, drift into dreams. The elders, wrapped in wool and memory, find comfort in the familiar sounds of home. The adults, their work done, share a final word, a gentle touch, a look that says all is well. The silence that follows is not empty, but full of shared silence, woven from the threads of trust and care. This peace is not accidental. It is the result of countless small acts, repeated night after night. The doors are barred, the animals checked, the fire banked. Each person knows their role, their place in the circle. The children learn from the sea. Adults, watching as they move through the rituals of safety and preparation. The elders offer quiet guidance, their wisdom a steady presence. The act of preparing for night is a communal one, a way of saying, we are safe, we are together, we are home. The trust that fills the longhouse is built over time. It is found in the sharing of food, the telling of stories, the tending of wounds, the comforting of fears. The Vikings know that the world can be uncertain, that storms may come, that dangers may lurk beyond the firelight. Yet they also know that together they are strong. The act of sleeping side by side, of sharing warmth and space, is a testament to this strength. The children, feeling the steady presence of their parents, sleep without fear. The adults, knowing that others keep watch, allow themselves to rest deeply. The elders, surrounded by the next generation, find peace in the continuity of life. The silence of the night is a living thing. It breathes with the slow rhythm of sleep. It is broken only by the soft sounds of life, the gentle sigh of a sleeper, the shifting of a child, the distant lowing of cattle. These sounds are not disturbances, but reassurances, each one a reminder that the world is as it should be, that the bonds of community hold strong even in the darkness. The longhouse, with its circle of beds, its flickering embers, its gentle hush, is a sanctuary, a place where the soul can rest. Outside, the world is different. The wind moves through the trees, the river sings its ancient song, the stars wheel overhead. The night is alive with its own music, wild and untamed. Yet the people within the longhouse are not cut off from this world. They are part of it, their lives shaped by its rhythms, their dreams colored by its beauty. The act of sleeping in community is a way of honoring this connection, of finding balance between the self and the world. Between solitude and togetherness, the Vikings understand that peace is not the absence of sound, but the presence of trust. The act of sharing silence is a form of communication, a way of saying, "You are safe with me." The children, learning this lesson, grow into adults who value the bonds of kin and neighbor. The adults, carrying the weight of responsibility, find comfort in the knowledge that they are not alone. The elders, looking back on a lifetime of nights, know that this peace is the greatest gift the community can offer. The rituals of the night reinforce this trust. The sharing of a final cup of mead, the telling of a last story, the gentle touch of a hand. Each act is a thread in the fabric of community. The children, wrapped in furs, listen to the quiet voices of their parents. The adults, their worries eased by the presence of others, allow themselves to relax. The elders, their hearts full of memory, drift into dreams. The silence that follows is deep and gentle, a shared breath, a collective sigh. The peace of the night is also a time for reflection. The adults, lying awake in the darkness, think of the day just past, of the work done, the words spoken, the small joys and sorrows. The children, their minds filled with dreams, rest easy, knowing they are loved. The elders, wise with years, remember other nights, other silences, other circles of family and friends. The act of lying together in the quiet is a way of honoring the past, of preparing for the future, of finding meaning in the present. The longhouse, with its thick walls and sturdy roof, is a symbol of this peace. It stands against the wind and the cold, a testament to the strength of community. The fire, burning low, is a beacon, a promise that the night will pass, that the sun will rise. The beds, arranged in a circle, are a reminder that no one is ever truly alone. The silence, deep and gentle, is a gift, a blessing, a sign that all is well. The Vikings know that the world is not always peaceful, that storms may come, that hardships may arise. Yet they also know that the bonds of community, the trust built over time, the rituals of care and comfort, can create a sanctuary even in the wildest night. The act of sharing silence, of sleeping side by side, is a way of holding back the darkness, of keeping hope alive, of honoring the gentle magic of peace in the quiet of the longhouse. As the fire burns low and the world outside fades into darkness, the family sleeps, their bodies wrapped in warmth, their hearts at ease. The act of sharing silence, of trusting in the bonds of community, is a gift, a blessing, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always comfort, always safety, always the gentle promise of peace. 1. What we can learn from Viking sleep in the gentle hush that lingers after a night well spent. The longhouse stands as a quiet witness to the wisdom of those who came before. The embers in the hearth glow softly, casting a faint golden light across the faces of those still wrapped in the warmth of sleep. Outside, the world is waking, the sky painted with the first blush of dawn. Yet within these sturdy walls, the peace of the night lingers, a gentle reminder of the gifts that rest can bring. The Vikings, so often remembered for their journeys and their battles, understood the quiet power of sleep. They knew that true strength is not found only in the swing of a sword or the pull of an oar, but in the ability to find comfort, to create sanctuary, to honor the rhythms of the body and the world. Their nights were shaped by rituals of care, by the sharing of warmth and story, by the gentle art of preparing for rest. In their world, sleep was not a luxury, but a necessity, a sacred time for healing, for dreaming, for gathering the strength needed to face another day. The legacy of Viking sleep is woven from many threads, each one a lesson, a quiet truth passed down through the generations. The first is the wisdom of community. The Vikings knew that rest is deeper, more peaceful when shared. The circle of beds, the gentle hush of the longhouse, the presence of family and kin, all combine to create a sense of safety, a feeling that no one was ever truly alone. The act of sleeping together, of sharing warmth and silence, was a way of building trust, of strengthening the bonds that held the community together. Another thread is the art of comfort. The Vikings, living in a land of long winters and restless winds, learned to cherish the small luxuries of life. The softness of linen, the warmth of wool, the scent of herbs and wood smoke, the gentle weight of furs. Each detail was chosen with care, each ritual observed with patience. The act of preparing for sleep was a way of honoring the body, of creating a space where healing could happen. The wisdom of comfort is a lesson that endures, a reminder that even in the harshest of worlds, there is room for gentleness, for care, for the quiet magic of rest. The Vikings also understood the importance of rhythm. Their lives were shaped by the turning of the seasons, the dance of light and dark, the ebb and flow of work and rest. They listened to the wisdom of the sun rising early in the long days of summer, surrendering to the darkness in the deep nights of winter. The act of honoring these rhythms, of allowing the body to follow the cycles of the earth, brought a sense of balance, a feeling of harmony with the world. The lesson of rhythm is one that still speaks, a gentle encouragement to listen, to adapt, to find peace in the patterns of life. The world of Viking sleep was also a world of dreams. The night was a time for the soul to wander, for the mind to find answers, for the heart to seek comfort. The stories told by the fire, the songs sung in the darkness, the rituals of scent and sound, all served to guide the dreamer, to open the door to the mysteries of the night. The Vikings believed that dreams could carry messages, that the gods might speak in the quiet hours, that the future could be glimpsed in the shifting patterns of sleep. The act of honoring dreams, of listening to the wisdom of the night, is a legacy that endures, a reminder that rest is not just for the body, but for the soul. The gentle art of sleep was also a form of healing. The Vikings knew that the body, given time and care, could mend itself, that the mind, allowed to rest, could find clarity, that the heart, surrounded by love and trust, could find peace. The rituals of the night, the sharing of food, the telling of stories, the preparation of beds, the dimming of lights, were all ways of creating a space where healing could happen. The lesson of healing is a quiet one, a reminder that rest is not a weakness, but a source of strength, a wellspring of hope. The legacy of Viking sleep is not just a memory, but a living truth. It is found in the small acts of care, in the rituals of comfort, in the rhythms of the day and night. It is a reminder that rest is a gift, a blessing, a time for renewal. The world may have changed, the longhouses replaced by new kinds of homes, the circle of beds by new ways of gathering, yet the wisdom endures. The need for comfort, for community, for rhythm, for dreams, for healing remains. In the quiet of the morning, as the first light touches the world, the family stirs. The children yawn and stretch. The elders rise slowly. The adults begin the work of the day. Yet the peace of the night lingers, a gentle presence, a memory of warmth and safety. The act of waking is a transition, a movement from the world of dreams to the world of action. The lessons of the night are carried into the day, shaping the way the family moves, the way they work, the way they care for one another. The Vikings, in their wisdom, teach that rest is not an end, but a beginning. Each night is a chance to heal, to dream, to gather strength. Each morning is a chance to begin again, to face the world with courage and hope. The legacy of rest is a living gift, a gentle encouragement to honor the body, to cherish the bonds of community, to find comfort in the small rituals of life, to listen to the rhythms of the world, to trust in the power of dreams. As the longhouse empties and the day begins, the memory of the night remains, the embers in the hearth, the scent of herbs, the softness of linen, the gentle hush of shared silence, all linger, quiet reminders of the wisdom of rest. The world outside is waiting, full of challenges and possibilities. Yet within the heart, the peace of the night endures, a gentle promise that, when the day is done, there will be comfort, there will be warmth, there will be the gentle magic of sleep. The legacy of Viking sleep is a story written not in grand deeds or distant journeys, but in the quiet moments of care, in the gentle rituals of night, in the shared silence of a family at rest. It is a story that endures, a lesson that whispers through the ages, a gentle encouragement to honor the gift of rest, to cherish the peace of the night, to find strength in the gentle embrace of sleep,